goals for 2026 was to get back into doodling because I feel like it just helps spark some creativity. And in my traveler's journal, one of the notebooks that I have is dedicated to doodling, and today I wanted to fill up pages with heart inspired doodles. This is what I ended up sketching a little bit. I wanted to shoot some content with this heart necklace that was so kindly sent by Majuri, and honestly it was a little bit difficult. For a lot of these doodles I did have to sit and think, okay, what did I want to put on these pages? And I had to really think like, okay, how can I make hearts look kind of like fun? And I had to get some inspiration from what I saw on Pinterest because it was actually pretty difficult to think about. For the most part though, I'm pretty proud of what I doodled. A lot of these were things that just kind of popped into my brain, so pretty proud of myself for that. So in those really cute boutiques that we went to during our little solo afternoon, I wanted to pick up some essentials that I needed because I have some products coming up. I have things that I picture in my head that I think would look really amazing, so pick some things up and I want to show you. From No Gem I picked up 2 things, and I just want to say that store is so cute. I really just love the silver interior that they have. I also love their stickers. So one thing I really needed to upgrade was a cooler place to put my brushes. I saw this metal spiral holder and I knew I had to get it, so picked it up. I just think it's really cool and unique. This is from the brand called Toot. I also really like this box. My main goal last week was to pick up some new utensils because the ones I have right now are just not very cute. I needed something more interesting, so I picked up this spoon. It looks really simple, but it still has a unique character to it. I just think it's really fun. At the next boutique that we went to, it's called Rainy Sunday Morning. The whole interior, the way everything was displayed, it just made you feel like you're entering a cozy home and like you're inside bundled up enjoying a cozy rainy Sunday morning. I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to pop inside because they were opening a lot later, but thankfully when I was there I got to pop in a little early. The worker that was there was really sweet. We got to chat a little bit and she helped me a lot actually to find things that I was looking for. And in that store, everything in there is by Korean artists local to New York and also from Korea, which I thought was really cool. And there's so many interesting kitchenware. Like one of the plates there, she was telling me that the artist purposefully put her thumbprints in there so that it was easier to hold, but it didn't even look like thumbprints. They were so perfectly aligned. It really just looked like an intentional art piece. So when I get a new place and need to get more kitchenware, I'm definitely gonna go back and pick one up because they were just so cute. They also had a lot of utensils there, but the one that I picked up was another spoon, but it has this cream acrylic handle, which I thought was really cute. And I'm a big fan of cream colors, so I thought this was perfect. I think it will match my bowl very nicely. I also like the size of this spoon because it's not too big, it's also not too small. And this may sound very weird, but when I eat, if I have a spoon like this size, it just helps me control like how fast that I eat. I also just found, at least for my body, that it's really good to eat things this small so that like I can chew more and it's just better for digestion. I'm not like inhaling so much food at once. That was probably a really weird tidbit to share, but I did also see that they had jewelry, and the rings that I saw were 100% sterling silver, and I thought I would just give myself a little reward for, you know, all the projects that I've been able to secure so far, even though it's only the first month. And I wanted to give myself a little treat, and also the fact that I already wanted to explore trying on more silver jewelry. So I picked up this ring. It has little spirals on it and all these cool like organic details. It's perfectly dainty, but it's also a statement piece, so I think that's really cool. I just really love the organic shape to it. It just feels more intentional somehow. Actually a lot later than I was anticipating to stay up, but I just got so locked in. One of my goals for this year was to get back into crocheting and also learn how to knit, and I actually did finish a crochet project, which I am really proud of because I wasn't expecting to finish it so soon, but I'll put like an image or a video of the project here. I really just wanted to get back into crocheting because I fell out of love with it for quite a while just because I got so frustrated at how like things that I wanted just wasn't turning out the way that I wanted it to be. Like I just kept being a perfectionist about it, but I wanted to get back into it and I just fell in love with it all over again. And I really wanted to actually finish a project to completion, and I am just so glad that I did it. It's a top that I wanted to play around with the buttons because I've been really liking the mismatched buttons. I just think it's really fun. It makes a basic top super interesting, and I just like all the different mix of colors, shapes, sizes, and I'm also just really proud of myself for playing around with a top that I didn't really know how to make, and I learned something new. I also started a new crochet project, which I won't really share exactly what it is yet because I just want to make sure that what I'm doing is actually the way I want it to look. I think so far it's turning out exactly the way that I want it to. Maybe you can tell what it is by the way that I folded it, but I will just leave it at that. I'm just really excited about this project. It's something new and different that I've never made before. I also really love the color of this yarn. I got it from Wool and the Gang. It's one of my favorite places to shop for yarn. I just think it's really high quality. The name of it is really cute. It's called Cinnamon Dust. It literally looks like cinnamon. And one of my other goals for this year was to learn how to knit. I have always been intimidated by knitting. I always thought it was so complicated and I just couldn't fathom with the fact that I had to hold 2 needles and make something out of it. But learning the basics of it is actually a lot more simpler than when I first learned how to crochet. But the thing is, it's so simple that it's difficult. And because I learned how to crochet first, learning how to knit from the first tutorial that I watched was just very different. It was hard for me to actually get a hold of it. But then I learned that there's actually 2 different styles to knitting. So there's English style, which is the form that I'm not used to, and then there's continental style, which is actually a preferred style for if you learned how to crochet first. And this is the first thing I knitted. This took me 4 hours because I was still learning how to hold it, the tension of the yarn. I just couldn't really grasp how to do it, so I kept unraveling, trying again, unraveling, trying again. I don't even know what this is. But then today we have this. It just looks so much better. You can really see the difference. I'm just very overly ambitious and already want to start making some kind of piece. And I think for me, even when I first learned how to crochet, my first or second swatch somehow always ended up turning into some kind of scarf, because that's essentially what it can be. Like the longer you go, it can just become something that you wrap around. So this is going to become my first ever knit project. It's going to be like a skinny scarf. I got over my intimidation of a new project, of learning something new, and I'm just really excited about this. I should actually go to sleep now because I still have to work in the morning. Night. So there's this food trend where you put Greek yogurt and Biscoff cookies together, put them in the fridge overnight, and it's supposed to taste like cheesecake, like a healthy alternative to cheesecake. I wanted to try it, so I did it properly, because the first time I did it, I actually only just left it in the fridge for an hour, and I was very impatient for some reason, so I was like, let me try this now. But it literally just tasted like you put Biscoff cookies on top of Greek yogurt. But I actually left it overnight in the fridge this time, and I put some berries on top just to add a little color and, you know, make it look pretty, using the new cutie little spoon today. Let's try this together. So when you actually leave it overnight, the Biscoff cookies get soft and it kind of looks like the crumb part of a cheesecake. I mean, it doesn't taste like cheesecake, but it has almost like the creamy texture of it. I think it's also probably the way that I put it together, because I kind of layered it like a tiramisu, but I know people just put the Biscoff cookies like in the yogurt tub, but it's pretty good. Hi, how are you? Oh my god, I know. I feel like the temperature this week has just been crazy. Like I saw it's gonna be like 0 degrees as the lowest on Saturday. I was like, that's criminal. I don't think I ever updated you guys on this book, If Cats Disappeared from the World. I actually finished this book about a few weeks ago. This is definitely a book to pick up if you just want something a little bit more simple and not a whole complex kind of story. The text size itself is also not too small or anything, so it's really easy to just take it with you on the go, read on the train, the bus, when you're commuting in general. The story itself is quite lovely. I can actually picture this book as like a little mini show series. I think it's really interesting, but I feel like as I was reading, I just wish it had a little bit more substance. But it's a cute story overall. I feel like it's something I would definitely pick up again to read because it's just really easy to breeze through it. I'm on to my second book, which is called Outline by Rachel Cusk. My first introduction to this author was with her other book called Second Place, and I didn't really know anything about this author. Now that I'm reading another book of hers, I noticed that she does have a certain writing style. I also crocheted this bookmark made out of the scrap yarn that I had. Definitely have to iron out the tassel though. Battery on my camera died, so I had to switch to my phone. I decided to subscribe to The New Yorker for the physical and digital print. I do have the app on my phone. I love playing their Shuffalo game. Shuffalo just helps me work my brain in a different way instead of me just being creative. It's just me like piecing together and also just kind of helping me make sure that I still have a decent vocabulary. Let me know if you also have any goals for 2026, if you also already checked some things off. If not, that's totally okay too. Everyone goes at their own pace, at their own time. Be gentle with yourself, give yourself grace. Thanks so much for sticking around, and I'll see you in the next video.